I am receiving a lot of good feedback about this model AutoCoder from various commenters. So thank you for trying it out. And I believe the model is quite good, especially when it comes to the smaller version, the 6.7 billion one, which we covered yesterday and also today. And the performance on various benchmarks also shows that. If you don't know what AutoCoder is, I have done a couple of videos yesterday and today. You can search them on the channel. So the first video was about installing AutoCoder on Linux, and then today I did the Windows one. So you can either install it on Linux or on the Windows. And for this video, we will be installing it on free Google Colab because there have been a lot of requests for that on the channel. So I will be showing you as how you can do that. Plus, I will also be dropping the code in my blog, and I will drop the link to the code in video's description. If you don't know AutoCoder is, I would highly suggest either watching either one of those videos because I go into a lot more detail around the architecture and the whole background of this model. At the very high level, it's a new model which has been designed for the code generation task. Its test accuracy on the human eval based data set has surpassed GPT-4 Turbo and also GPT-4o. And we are talking about GPT-4 Turbo, which was just released this year in April. Just imagine that the GPT-4 score was 90.2 and this model scored 90.9, which is amazing. And by the way, this human eval, it is quite a reputable benchmark. It is not some random benchmark because mainly it is a framework for evaluating the ability of AI models to generate natural language that is both coherent and human. So that is where this autocoder has performed really well. Now, this model has been tested on coherence, respect, empathy, factuality, and inclusivity on that human eval benchmark, and it has performed very, very well. It comes in two flavors. One is 6.7 billion, the smaller one, and the larger one is 33 billion. And I believe it is a 33 billion, of course, which has beaten GPT-4 and GPT-4o. So don't try to beat GPT-4o with your 6.7 billion model. Now, I will be using this quantization from Yukong because we'll be installing it in Colab, and Colab has free GPU which we'll be using. So for that, you would need this quantized version. So for that, let's go to my Google Colab. This is my Google Colab. First up, we need to set the GPU. So go to runtime, change runtime time, and select this T4 GPU, which is a free GPU from Google. So really hats off to Google for providing us that. Click on save, and then let's load or download our GGUF format or quantized file. For that, let's go back to Hugging Face. Sign up to Hugging Face, your free email. If you don't have an account, log in there, and then once you are on this page, just search here like AutoCoder on Hugging Face, and you will see that there are a few models there. Just select this one. So I already have selected it. Then click on Files, scroll down, and you will see there are a lot of quantization level. If you don't know what they are, I already have done a video on them separately, but all in all, quantization means to reduce the model size. So what happens is normally the model representation is in 32-bit. So with the quantization, we either slash it into 16-bit or 8-bit or 4-bit, which reduces the size of the model, and it occupies less memory, less VRAM in GPU. So that is how we can run it on commodity hardware, but there is a loss of some of the performance and accuracy. So normally I go with Q5KM. This is a really good one, give a good balance, and it is always recommended. So just select either one of which you like. As you see, if I go back to my Colab, I have selected this Q5KM. So in order to select that, scroll down, just click on that Q5KM file, and then you will see that this is the download button. Right click on it, and then you will just copy the link, and then go back, just put semicolon, no sorry, this exclamation mark, wget space, the whole link. Make sure download is equal to true is appended at the end, otherwise it won't download. I already have downloaded it to save time. If I go here, click on folder icon, you will see that my file is already there. So once that's done, next step is to import the PyTorch library, and because Google Colab comes already installed with it, so you don't have to install it again. So just to import the torch is imported. We will be running it with llama cpp python, so we need to install that. Llama cpp python is a wrapper around llama cpp. It's a Python wrapper. Llama cpp is a C++ library to do inference with the models locally. So let's wait for it to llama cpp to get installed. It will not take too long. That is done. Then let's import that llama from llama cpp. That is also done. And now initialize our model. Let me show you how we initialize it. So this is how we initialize it. We are just creating a llamas object with this model path. This is a model path which you can get from here. So if you click on this folder icon, you either right click on these three dots, click on copy path, and then it is going to give you this path. And then this means that we are offloading 32 layers of this model to GPU, which is D4. And this is just a seed random number which we are giving it to generate the inference. And then this is the context which we are defining. Let's run it. And you will see once you run it, it is going to give us a lot of information about the model structure around this cont, that how many layers are there, if rope theta has been used, what is the F type, BOS, CentOS, lot of stuff. So you don't have to worry about this. But if you want to learn more about it, you can go through it and read one by one. Always an interesting thing to do. But that is all there is to download and install the model. Now, in order to do the inference, let me put the command there. So this is a command which you use. So here there is a question. You can ask it, write me a program to reverse the list in Python. And then you give it max token. This is the output which you give. So token mean words or sentences. And this is how many token it is going to generate. And it is going to stop when it will encounter this question. And echo is true. Let's wait for it. Takes a bit of a time, so don't just let it run, don't worry about it. Almost there. And that has done, and it has again put out some of the load time and that sort of stuff and how many tokens it took. Let me print out the output. So just print the output like this. And there you go. So this is your question, and then it is telling you, so here is a simple Python function that reverses a list. And because we have just curtailed it to here, it has not given us the response. So maybe if you like just increase the number of tokens, it is going to give it to you. So maybe I'll just run it again to see if, because we have the randomness is high, so every time we run it, model gives us a different response. So let's see if it gives us a full one this time or not. So let's wait for it to finish. That is done. Let me print it. There you go. So it says you can achieve this by using slicing feature of Python. Here is how you would do it. So it is just, again, it has, if you keep increasing it, it is going to give you the program instead of, because normally what happens is this is a very, very performant model. If you check out my Windows and Linux one, it first gives you a detail of what it is going to do. Then it writes a script, and then it gives a synopsis. But anyway, you can keep increasing this max token, or even you can also increase this context window to 4096 maybe, and then it is going to give you more and more broader response. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you're already subscribed, then please share it among your network, as it helps a lot. Thanks for watching.